Hey folks, Crazy Climber 80 here again, and we're going to look at game number 5 in our 20 from the Atari 2600 VCS series. And this game was originally an arcade smash hit in 1978, one of the biggest arcade smashes ever. And this port was very, very good. It was created by Atari and Rick Maurer in 1980. And this one is the great classic Space Invaders. Now, this played very, very, very similar to the arcade. The graphics were a little different, but not in a way that was bad. It was still very playable, very cool looking, very fun. And this had a two-player simultaneous play option. As far as the number of game variations for this had 112. A lot of the gameplay variants were similar. You could have moving, and notice what I did there. If you set the difficulty switch to A, you will have a fat ship, and is therefore easier for the invaders to hit with their laser fire. But various game variations could have the bunkers that can protect you and are shot down by the aliens. It could have the bunkers move. Other variations could have the enemy shots zigzagging. Their shots could be fast. You could have invisible enemies. We'll get started with regular gameplay. Now, I apologize that some of the laser fire might not have translated well from the emulator. You might not be able to see all my shots, and just sprite flickering that doesn't hold up well through emulation, perhaps. But the gameplay is very similar to the arcade. That UFO, depending on the game variation, could be 100 or it could be 200. It's usually 200, but some of the game variations would have it as 100. Oh, come on. Dang it. Just like in the arcade, if you let the invaders get down to the floor where you are, then your game will end, no matter how many lives you have left. As far as I can tell, you cannot get any extra lives in this game, which kind of sucks, but other than that, this was fantastic. We did not own this, me or any members of my family. We had an Atari 2600, but we did not have this game. We had a neighbor down the street that had this. We're a few streets away, and we would come over to their house sometimes during the winter and drink hot chocolate, and they had Space Invaders and Kaboom, and we'd play the hell out of both games. I got better at Space Invaders over the years, well after it came out. So I was getting better at peeking out from behind the bunkers and backing off to avoid laser fire, and moving back out again to take shots at the aliens. Now, once the bunkers disappear, I think the enemies can drop down one more floor, and that's it. After that, then it's game over if they land again, or if they descend one more time. But yeah, the difficulty switch, if you set it to A, then your ship will be fat and easier for the aliens to hit. Now, you can use, this is kind of nice, you have rapid fire on this game. You only have one shot at a time, but if you do a certain trick, which I will show you later, you can have double shots. That's very, very, very helpful in this game. And note that the aliens will start appearing low on the later stages. And already they're just barely above where you're at, and if they descend one more time, then your game will end. So we can't let that happen. And note that when they're really low, it doesn't take long for them to shoot you. I think the aliens can only have, maybe it's just 2 shots on the screen at once. So if there's already 2 shots on the screen, and one of the lower aliens is just above you, they won't shoot. Or maybe they don't shoot when they're on the lowest floor, or the lowest, crap. I didn't get over there in time. Game over. Well, that was, Space Invaders. We will look at some of the other, game variations. It seems to go in 16s. For every 16, there will be a particular theme, and they'll have moving bunkers, zigzag enemy shots, fast enemy shots. See, we've got moving bunkers here, and then a combination of those, and as well as invisible enemies. And for the first 16 games in the variations, it will just be 1 player. And then the next 16 will be like, I think, 2 player, and it will be 2 player alternating. And then the next 16 will involve 2 player simultaneous play. You can both play at the same time. And then the next 16 are 2 player simultaneous play, but you have to alternate a shot. You know, 1 player can shoot and the other one has to wait until their shot's gone and then they shoot. It's kind of weird. I don't like that setup. And then the next 16 involve both players controlling 1 ship. Player 1 moves them to the left, player 2 moves them to the right, and either can fire. Weird. And here's a look at the invisible invaders. They only appear when they're shot. And like I said, there could be a combination of zigzagging shots, fast shots, 1 player solo, 2 player alternating, 2 player simultaneous play, 2 players controlling the same ship. From 81 to like 96 variations, that's 2 player control of the 2 players both control the cannon, but they alternate each shot. And then from like 97 to 112, the left player moves the cannon and the right player controls the shots. And then this is 2 player alternating, or I think 2 player simultaneous play. But there's so many variations, and this game was so fun. The sound effects were great. They weren't just like the arcade machine at all, but they were still very good sound effects. I enjoyed this quite a bit. This was definitely a game that you want to collect if you are a collector of Atari 2600 games, or have an emulator and you want to play what were the best games for the system. Definitely get Space Invaders. This was terrific. And yeah, you see the speed of the shots change as I go through the cycle through the various game variations. But yeah, if you want to do the double shot trick, what you've got to do is hold down the reset switch as you power on, and you will start a game with double shots. And you could just hold down the fire button, and you'll just shoot off 2 rapid shots, and as soon as one is extinguished, you'll fire off another one. Yeah, I think in almost all the variations, that UFO is worth 200 points. You score a good deal more in this version, I believe, than in the arcade. The bottom invaders are worth 5. The next one up is 10. The next one after that is 15. The next one after that is 20. The next one after that is 25. And the top row is 30. I like the look of the invaders in this version. It's like long legs at the bottom, a cyclops the next floor. Not sure what to call the next guys. Then the third ones from the top were like doing jumping jacks and they didn't have heads on. The guys at the top had rabbit ears. I just like the look of this, the look and sound effects of this was pretty impressive. Definitely a game you want to check out if you're looking for Atari 2600 classics. But yeah, I don't think that the invaders can have more than 2 shots on the screen at once. Might be good to know. And definitely try to get that UFO. It does kind of suck that there's no extra lives given. Whoa. Definitely can't let them get to the bottom there. But yeah, using the double fire or a double shot is really, really helpful. Yeah, the invaders will not shoot if they're on the way bottom floor, but they are on the second floor up from just above me, so they can still shoot. Oh, and now they can shoot when they're at this way bottom part. So it's really, really tough to avoid getting hit. If I had the difficulty switch on A, I would have been dead. But yeah, just try to stay just ahead of those invaders. If you can stay just ahead of them and be able to shoot them, you're at a really good advantage. And again, remember that... Oh crap, I gotta get under that. Oh shoot. If I didn't get him quick enough, then he would have landed and my game would have ended. Yeah, I've gotten better at Space Invaders over the years. I'm still not great, but certainly better than probably the average Joe that just picks this game up for the first time. Oh, crap. You see the green dot and the yellow dot. That is a good indicator of that you can't get past there. That's as far as your ship can move, and that's kind of helpful to see. I'm glad that Atari put that in. And note that the lower invaders will not move as fast as the top invaders. Oh crap! I gotta go back quickly and take out that first guy. Shoot! I just did that in time so that my game wouldn't end. But yeah, it seems like you can score a little bit better on this Atari 2600 Space Invaders than the arcade. Back over and take out that guy. There we go. Yeah, I'll be moving on to a different system. Oh crap! Now I think I might be in trouble here. Oh crap! I didn't shoot him in time. Well, that was not good. But I will try a different system once I finish this Atari 2600 series, a different second generation console Now, frying just makes some kind of weird graphic glitches and stuff. It doesn't really help you that much, that I can tell. In fact, it's liable to make your game crash. Weird looking. You can be invincible, I guess. You can't see your own ship, but eventually the game will crash. And the UFO might come out at weird times. And the last invader doesn't move fast for some reason. Whoops. Well, that was Space Invaders, game number 5 in our 20 from the Atari 2600 VCS series. Well, this is Crazy Climber 80 saying thanks for watching. Space Invaders, released in 1980 by Atari and Rick Maurer. I'll see you soon with game number 5. Have a good one, everybody. Bye-bye.